The NBA parity is at an all-time high. There have been 5 different champions in the past 5 years. In a league full of dynasties, we are witnessing a stretch where competition is at an all-time high. In the past, this happened between the dynasties. In the 90s, Houston Rockets managed to win during the reign of Chicago Bulls. In the 2000s, the Detroit Pistons and Dallas Mavericks won between the reign of Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat. The current stretch is so rare. To find a similar stretch, we have to rewind the clock all the way back to 1976, when similarly, 5 different teams won championships for 5 consecutive years, from 1976 to 1980. And finally, with the signing of current collective bargaining agreement, the NBA has made sure the league remains exactly like this. Different champions every few years. Here's the secret to how NBA doesn't allow the back-to-back championships anymore. Winning back-to-back NBA championships is a formidable challenge. In its 75 years, there have only been a few teams in the NBA who have managed to win consecutive titles. But why is that? What makes sure that it's not just one team ruling them? Why do we see new teams emerging every few years, despite dominant NBA dynasties? The answer is simple. It's the NBA itself. Well, to be specific, it's the format and rules established by the NBA. Let's dive deep to understand this. The NBA and National Basketball Players Association recently reached agreement on a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement, promising labor peace through the rest of the decade. The agreement is basically a blueprint of how the league runs, starting from how many matches the players play to how much they make or can make. The tentative deal, which starts with the 2023-2024 season, was announced by the league and union and is expected to be ratified by league governors and players in the coming weeks. After years of dynasty talks, the NBA has adjusted the terms of the agreement in a way that it becomes hard for a team to win back-to-back, as it has several provisions that impact the ability of teams to build and maintain the contending roster. Let's take a look at some of these terms. Number 1. Salary cap. The CBA sets a salary cap, which limits the amount a team can spend on player salaries. This prevents teams from getting all the top talent by outbidding smaller market teams. Number 2. Luxury tax. Teams that spend over a certain amount must pay a luxury tax, which becomes progressively more punishing the more a team spends. This is designed to discourage excessive spending on player salaries and maintain competitive balance. Number 3. Rookie scale contracts. The CBA includes a rookie wage scale that limits the salary of first-round draft picks for their first few years in the league. This can be a double-edged sword. While it saves money, it could also lead to situations where young stars outperform their contracts and seek larger extensions sooner. Number 4. Max contracts. There are limits on the maximum amount a player can earn, which is a percentage of the salary cap. This can limit a team's ability to retain multiple superstars. Number 5. Trade restrictions. The CBA requires salaries and trades to match within a certain percentage for teams over the cap. This can complicate the process of improving a roster through trades. Number 6. Contract lengths. The CBA limits the lengths of contracts, which can affect a team's long-term planning and roster stability. These components of the CBA are intended to promote competitive balance across the league, but can create challenges for teams looking to build a championship contender, especially in retaining a talented core while also improving the roster year over year. In the past, the teams that have won repeatedly have used these tools to reconstruct their roster so they can compete again. Before we talk about those teams, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Notably, between their 2009 and 2010 championships, the Los Angeles Lakers made a significant roster change by replacing Trevor Ariza with Ron Artest. This move proved to be vital as Artest provided strong defensive prowess and hit a key three-pointer in Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics. Even the mighty Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls needed to sign the free agents Dennis Rodman to go on their second three-peat, and these are just positive examples. Sometimes, the winning team loses key pieces on their second run for the title, which again results in failure to do so. After the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship in 2020, PJ Tucker, a crucial player in their campaign, was not re-signed due to luxury tax concerns. He then joined the Miami Heat, which altered the defensive capabilities of both teams. After winning the championship with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2020, Dwight Howard moved to the Philadelphia 76ers for the 2020-2021 season. His departure affected the Lakers' defensive structure, as he was a significant contributor off the bench during their title run. These instances show how player movements can significantly impact a team's chances of repeating as champions by affecting team chemistry, defense, and overall roster depth. Let's talk about the NBA format now. The new agreement also introduces the format of the in-season tournament. As advertised, the point of the tournament is to provide additional excitement about the regular season for fans. To put into context, the NBA regular season is long and it can get boring for viewers. The new tournament adds a competitive edge to these matches, which in turn makes players play harder. The problem is that a long regular season also results in injuries to players. Making these games more challenging just invites more of such injuries. Teams that have reached the NBA Finals end up playing significantly more games than those that don't make the playoffs. Here's a basic breakdown. In the regular season, all teams play 82 games. Teams that reach the playoffs then play 3 continuous series of 7 games. And finally, 7 games again in the NBA Finals. So, a team that goes to the finals could play up to 28 additional games, totaling a maximum of 110 games. This does not account for potential overtimes, which add even more minutes. As for the extra minutes, if a star player averages, say 36 minutes per game during the regular season, they often play more in the playoffs, potentially averaging closer to 40 minutes. Over 28 extra games, that's an additional 112 minutes at the minimum, which is nearly 3 extra full games worth of playing time at high intensity. It is well documented in sports science that athletes may experience mental and physical fatigue after long seasons, especially when they go deep into playoffs repeatedly. The 1988-1999 Los Angeles Lakers had a regular season record of 57-25. Magic Johnson, during the regular season, averaged 22.5 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 12.8 assists per game. His absence in the finals due to injury was a critical blow, as the team lost 4-0 to the Detroit Pistons. Kevin Durant, in the 2018-2019 season, played 78 regular season games and averaged 26 points per game for the Golden State Warriors. However, he was injured during the finals, and the Warriors lost to the Toronto Raptors in 6 games. Winning back-to-back NBA championships is a formidable challenge. In its 75 years, there have only been a few teams in the NBA who have managed to win consecutive titles. The injuries, as well as player contracts, can pose significant hurdles in this pursuit. Injuries can derail a team's chemistry and momentum. Key players missing games can disrupt the flow and understanding developed over the season, leading to losses where there might have been wins. Player contracts are another obstacle. After a championship win, players often seek higher salaries, which can strain the team's budget due to the NBA's salary cap restrictions. This can force a team to trade valuable players or let them go in free agency, weakening the roster. Lastly, managing the cap space to keep a talented roster while also planning for the future is a balancing act. Teams must decide whether to pay the luxury tax for exceeding the cap limit to keep their championship core intact. In conclusion, injuries and contract issues are 2 of the most unpredictable and challenging aspects that teams must navigate to win consecutive NBA championships. They require not just good management and coaching, but also a bit of luck. And like any casino, the house always wins. And similarly, the NBA has decided to keep all that luck for themselves. Want to know more about what the NBA is hiding? Check out this video.